butter frosted coconut muffins. I know, it tastes as good as it sounds, and this is a really simple recipe to follow. To start with, some raw sugar. I like the flavour of raw sugar, so I'm changing it up a little bit today. 3/4 of a cup straight into a really big bowl. The beautiful thing about my recipe here is that everything goes into the bowl, mixed together with a wooden spoon and a whisk, and then into the oven in no time. Sugar and eggs go in first, so 2 whole eggs, and I'm going to break them in one at a time. And 2, and you want to give this a really good whisk, breaking those eggs there and then whisking until it really starts to come together and sort of becomes quite light and fluffy. And you'll see just by whisking straight away, it is starting to dissolve. Now, it will be a little bit crunchy. That's what raw sugar is. And I like it because of the molasses flavour that we're going to get from it. You can definitely substitute this with caster sugar if you like. And already, it's almost doubled in size. So that's what we're after. So I'm now going to add 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk. I love buttermilk for this. Again, it's going to give us a really nice crumb. Perfect. And now, something a little bit different. Instead of butter, I'm going to be using coconut oil. So I need about 1/2 a cup of this. And if it's solid, see inside here, we can see how solid the rest of this coconut oil is. No problems at all. Just pop that straight into the microwave and it'll melt automatically. If you wanted to, you could change this to butter, and the quantity is 125 grams of butter. For some extra flavour in here, I'm going to add some cinnamon and the zest of 1 whole orange. Now, if you have a look at this orange, you can see it's a little bit green, and that's completely fine. It just shows that this is a Valencia orange. So different varieties of oranges have a different tinge to them, and doesn't mean it's not a good orange. So always remember that when it comes to produce. And now we can start adding our dry ingredients. So I've got some self-raising flour that I've already measured out, and that can go into the centre, and I'm going to slowly incorporate this along with some desiccated coconut, and I'm just going to reserve a few tablespoons because I'm going to add that to the top. So let's gently fold that in, taking your time. We don't want any lumps, and then I'm going to add some blueberries. Now that this mixture is ready, we can line our muffin tin. I'm just putting this into some paper cases, saves the washing up later. And this is a Texas muffin tin, which is around 3/4 of a cup capacity. These are great because this is the largest muffin tin you can find, which means you get big, brekkie muffins. Once the muffins come out of the oven, allow them to cool completely, because there's nothing worse than putting frosting on hot muffins and then it melting away. Now, I have the best recipe for a peanut butter frosting. It's so good. I love peanut butter because it's that mixture of the nuts, so the peanuts, and salt, and it works so well with sweetness of icing sugar. 100 grams of icing sugar to 100 grams of smooth peanut butter, and then just on a low speed, I'm going to place my mixer on and then just combine this until it's really, really smooth. Now, once that's smooth, I'm going to add some butter. Again, 100 grams, so easy to remember. And then once that's combined, I'm going to add some milk and a little bit of honey. This is the best frosting. Have a look at this. It's smooth. It's just exactly the right consistency for muffins. Now, you can just spoon these on your muffins, but I'm going to take it a little bit further by placing this frosting into a piping bag that has a star nozzle, just to make it look extra special. So just place the piping bag over your fingers just like this, almost cupping it, and then get a nice big amount of this frosting, scoop it straight into this bag. And you can do this ahead of time and pop it in the fridge and just bring it back to room temperature when you're ready to frost. So I'm gonna pile that all in, not missing any because it's so yummy. And then I'm gonna pipe it on these delicious muffins. I tell you what, the effort that you put into making these luscious muffins is minimal compared to what you get. The result is fantastic. And this peanut butter icing is one to put in your repertoire because it is so good with any muffins. I could just eat the top of that, so good.